Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope that we get lots of people on tonight. I know I switched days, so I know it takes a little while sometimes to get everybody caught up on the same page to know where to find us and what time. Also, we are going live from my Facebook page rather than my Creative Sister page, just because I think it's easier for people to access that.
Actually, we're
So,
going live from both.
oh, we're going live from both. So, see, we're doing all right. So we'll give people a minute or two to get on, but welcome. I hope that you will find something of value tonight and something that inspires you. So last week I shared the Pajama Crafter's new release, which I absolutely love. So one of the new stamp sets that I showed is called Hats Off, and you can see it's got a cute graduation theme to it, and it does have matching dies. In fact, it has another one that's over. I've got it pulled aside because I'm using that. Actually, I'm not using it, but I'm going to show you something with it tonight. Oh, and I was going to go on and hang on. I just want to make sure I can see who's talking to me tonight.
Sue
So I'm going
says
to
hi.
refresh my page really quick. Bear with me. Okay, what was that?
Sue's saying hi
Hi,
to you.
how are you? Welcome, welcome, welcome. So I wanted to use this set for something other than graduation. I have plenty of plans for this for graduation cards, but tonight I want to show you something that isn't necessarily just for graduation. So I'm going to be using, I love this, the You Can Do Amazing Things, because sometimes people just need a little encouragement. And in fact, I wanted to take it a step further because I tend to do, you have to remember, I live with all boys. And I have two sons, I have my husband. And so sometimes my cards might go extra girly because that's my creative outlet and I don't always get to do it around the house. So but tonight I wanted to make one that was more on the masculine side. So that is what we're going to do, which isn't to say you couldn't give it to a girl, but it's definitely going to lean more into a more masculine flavor to it. So we are going to use this stamp set, Hats Off. And like I said, it has the dies that fit the large hat, the small hat, and then this really cute congrats grad. Like I said, I have lots of plans for this cute set for graduation cards, but we're just doing something different. And then you've got your little diploma here as well. And then this circle, which fits this cute, I love this stamp. This stamp is one of those stamps that's like, that could stay under the radar, but I know I am going to use this particular stamp a lot. So we will in fact be using that tonight. Okay, and then I'm going to set that aside for a minute because I've pulled all the stamps out that I need for that.
Luann says hi.
Hi, Luann. How are you? I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. And then this stamp set has been around a little bit longer, and this is in the prickly pear line. This is what is this called? Moon and Stars. Trust me to complicate things and try to try to figure out what it's called. Simple name. And I've used this before. I used this a while back on a cute card with a cat that had the stars. This is one of those sets that's just useful. You can use it a lot of ways. And we're going to use it tonight. We're going to use this little star and this little circle. Again, that circle. And this one also has matching dies. And it's got the circle and stars. But honestly, I don't need to use any of those. So I'm going to put them away before I lose them because that is just something I would do. I'm hoping I didn't already lose one. I think that's, we'll worry about that after. But I always have to check the underside of my MISTI because I can't tell you how many times I find dies that went astray. Do you guys ever do that? Okay, so with all of that said, let's go ahead and get started. So I thought, first of all, we would make a really fun background. So I'm going to use kind of a heavier weight cardstock. And I've cut it down to 3.5 by 4 3/4.
Justine says hi.
Who did? Oh, Justine, hi, how are you? Thanks for joining tonight. Okay, so I've got my Misty out. I've got all my stamps kind of stuck to the top, so I'm going to move those where I can see them better. I've got one in there that I'll just leave there because it's not going to interfere in what we're doing. Okay. So first I am just going to make a pattern all over our card. Let's see if it'll stick. I don't know if this is very sticky anymore. That's okay. We'll just use the magnets. Okay. So I'm just going to use this circle. And the best part is this circle is from the Moon and Stars set. And this circle is from the Hats Off set. And you can see they fit, the one fits right inside the other. So it's really convenient. And I'm just going with what an estimate of what the center would be. And I'm not super precise. So if you are, oh, sorry about that, a precise person, I might drive you a little bit crazy because as far as that goes, I am not that precise. Okay, so I'm going to use all of these colors. I've got Simon Hurley inks. I've got Remember Me, Later Gator, Tropical Tango. So, you know, these colors are just kind of a teal, a green. This is kind of maybe kind of like a jade. And then this one's kind of a yellowy orange. And then we will layer those up. So I'm going to start with this kind of teal color. I am glad you're well. I love crafting live with everybody too, and watching crafty videos. Okay. So we've got our first circle on there, and then my rule of thumb, I just like to put them fairly close together. I think that patterns look a little awkward if you don't put them pretty close together. So when in doubt, just kind of, without touching, just put them close together. Okay. And I'm going to do one thing because this is, well, maybe. I've got one cord that's kind of interfering with everything. Hopefully, maybe we'll do it this way. That will work. Sorry. I keep hitting it when I go to close my Misty, so that will work better. I won't catch it so easily. Ah! Good thing we got that one on the first try, huh? Okay, so now I'm just going to work my way around the card. And like I said, I'm not super precise, so if you want to be more precise, you go right ahead and do that.
Donna C says hi, and Kelly said sorry she's late.
Hi, Donna. Hi, Kelly. Oh, Kelly, I'm just glad you're here. There is not a set. I'm not all about the time. I'm just glad you're here. Just happy you're joining us. Okay, and we're just going to keep kind of working our way around. And honestly, if you want a simple card, you could just do this for a background and you would have a cute card. That's one of my favorite things about making cards is there is such a huge variety and range of difficulty or craziness that we put into our cards. I love that you can just make a simple, cute, really, really striking card, or you can go all out and just do all kinds of cool distressing and all kinds of fun stuff and go crazy and make a cool card. There's such a wide range of ways to use your creativity. And, you know, we're not always in the same mood. Sometimes we're in the mood to make a simple, elegant, or, you know, just striking card that way. And sometimes, yeah, sometimes we've got more time. Sometimes we just want to explore our imagination and our creativity and just go for it.
Jessica Mercado says hi and she misses you.
Oh, Jessica, you're so sweet. Thank you. I miss you too. Okay, so we are going to... Oh, I should show my shirt. I got this really cute shirt from Pajama Crafters, which I absolutely love. It's really comfy and it's got the cute little logo on it. So I don't know if we were able to get the link to work, Darren. We were having trouble with
the
that
link to work. It wouldn't.
But if you go to the Pajama Crafter Stamp site and go under Tools, there's a little subsection called Swag. Isn't that what it's called? Yeah.
Yep. Swag.
And that is where you will find different apparel, and there's some cute cups and stuff there. Just check it out. Okay, we are almost there. Thanks for being patient with me while I make this background. And the magic will start happening very soon. You'll see just how just simply combining your stamp sets, sometimes you can do some pretty cool things.
Chloe says hi, Aunt Shannon.
Chloe, hello. How are you, my friend? My cute girl. I'm hoping to come see you at the end of May. So make sure, don't go out of town the end of May, because I'm coming to you. And Benji's going with me too. Okay, there's one more that I feel like I have to do because it's going to bug me if I don't. So excuse my OCD. We got to put one right there. Okay, almost there. Just need to get, oh, I did the wrong side of that stamp. Okay, now we can move on to the next layer and you can start to see something really fun take shape. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to use this cute green with, you guessed it, my favorite new stamp. This is one of those staple stamps.
Chloe said she's worn out but hanging in there and she can't wait to see your cute face, so come visit her.
Oh, I will definitely come see you. And you are working really hard. I'm really proud of everything you're doing. That's so awesome. I love seeing your updates. Okay. Oops. Kind of have to close the thing first, huh? Already, look how cute. This would be a cute background too. Keep wanting to skip that one step. And you'll notice they're not all centered perfectly in the middle of the other circle, and that's okay with me. You do you. If you want them perfectly centered, you can make them that way. But I kind of like them offset just a little bit. I just think it's kind of a more fun, funky flavor to the card. You could even layer them completely off so that you had like a chain. That's the only way I can think of to describe it, where they're just kind of interlocked. It would be cute too. That's the thing about stamps that are kind of simple. They may not be all flashy, but they're so useful that you can put your own flashy spin on them. Which isn't that kind of what we're all about anyway, is just finding creative ways to use these things. There I go again. Okay, we are almost there and we can start on the next layer really quick. I love these little dots. I think that's so cute. I like green and blue together anyway. I just think they're just always seem so fresh and crisp and refreshing together. What are your favorite color combos? Do you guys have favorites that you kind of go to? Oh, Justine, I'm glad nothing needs to be perfect because I would be in a lot of trouble if it did. I am certainly grateful. I do think that there are a lot of people who do get hung up on things like that because they want everything to be perfect. All of the joy of creating kind of goes out of it. And I know when people say they hate crafting, I'm like, okay, they might be one of those people that's a perfectionist because they want it to be so perfect. They worry too much. Have fun. If you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. That's the only thing you need to remember. Having fun is definitely important to the whole process. Okay. Purple, blue, greens are your favorite combos. Ew, yes. Yes, all beautiful. Somebody asked on their Facebook the other day what everybody's favorite color was, and I was like, nope, can't pick. Just can't pick one because I just like too many colors. Even the colors that I don't like, which really I can only think of one that I really kind of struggle with, but it has its place when it's the perfect color for things. I'm not particularly a big fan of rust, but sometimes rust is just the right color. But you probably won't see me wearing it anytime soon because it would not be a pretty sight on me. You hear that often, that rust is people's least favorite. Okay, let's see. We are getting there. We are getting there. And it's just elevating it with every layer. Oh, this one's way off. Oh, good. That'll give it some character. Okay, let's. So one of my favorite movies is Meet the Robinsons. Have you guys seen that Disney movie? I think it is so cute. and it's just kind of close to my heart. Um, Other projects to be perfect, yes. Maybe it is popular. Maybe I'm the weird one that doesn't like rest, but no, I think you're absolutely right. People trying to keep things perfect, it's a problem. Anyway, Meet the Robinsons has a whole theme on just how it's, you know, it's okay not to be perfect. It's okay to make mistakes, and we learn. Think of how much you learn every time that you make a mistake. So honestly, if you don't make mistakes, you don't learn how things work a lot of times. I think in the crafting world, I definitely make a lot of mistakes before I learn how to do something. I always joke that I try to take the bullet for you guys sometimes because I have probably done it wrong first before I did it right. Okay, let's see. We have, looks like two more, well, 2.5 more stars. There we go. All right, 2 more, and we will have this layer done. And then we're going to do some more crazy stuff. We're going to elevate it a little bit more. But this is a cute, just kind of crisp, more bold design. But we're gonna muck it up a little bit. In a good way. Okay. Last one. Okay, we have one more stamp to stamp on these, and we will have the whole thing. So one of these stars, again, one of these stars was in the Hats Off set. It was the smaller one, and then the larger one is in the Moon and Stars set. So we're going to, once again, put one inside the other. And this is where we're going to use our orange. I like this orange. It's kind of a fun color of orange. I actually tried yellow, but it didn't really show up very well. And I thought, oh, if I can hardly see it, then you guys really won't be able to see it. So we went with a little bit darker color with the orange, and I think it worked out really good. Again, it's okay if they're not perfectly lined up, so don't freak out. Just have fun. And especially when you see the end result of what we do, you'll see that this kind of card especially it's just more of a loose style. So it's kind of hard to mess it up, which is my favorite kind of project. I need all of the leeway I can get. I need very forgiving projects. All right, we're almost done with all the stamping. Just a couple more. Okay. See if we can, let me secure that just a little bit more. There we go. Oh, I moved the whole thing. That's okay. I'm going to go with it. That one's completely off, and that is okay. I completely moved things around. And we are going to live through it. Okay, so now I'm just going to move that stamp off because we do have one other thing we'll stamp, but we'll do everything else first. Okay, so let me just put the lid back on, or I will end up with my hand laying right in it because that's just how I roll. Okay, so now let's add some, just a little bit more fun to this. So I'm going to use a combination of different oxides and stains. I've got tumbled glass. I don't think I used that one actually. I was going to and then I didn't. So forget that one. We're just going to use 3. We're using carved pumpkin, dried marigold, and uncharted mariner. So first, mariner probably. I don't know. I said mariner. What kind of a word is that? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the carved pumpkin oxide. And one thing I like about these is the way they spray, because you can control the spray really well. You can just do a little tiny bit and not push your finger all the way down on the nozzle, or you can go crazy. I think that's probably a good amount. And then I'm just going to be really light, hopefully. I'm live, so we'll see if it works, because when you're live, nothing ever works exactly how you want. But I'm going to try to just do a little bit on this one. And that's a little bit more than I meant, but that's okay. It's not bad. Oh, that one though. I should have quit while I was ahead. Okay, and now I'm going to use some of the spray stain. Okay, so I don't want to cover everything we did. But now I'm just going to use a light mist of water. So I've got my squirt bottle, and I'm just going to squirt it and see what I think, because I don't want it to run. I just want it to kind of soften. I think that is probably pretty close to where I want it. Maybe one more. Okay. So we're just going to let that kind of dry up a little bit. We'll set that aside. And while that's doing that, we'll add, well, you know what, let's add it while it's still a little bit wet. So I'm just using my blending brush, and I have one of these for each of my colors of inks. Some people do it by color family and just have one for all their oranges, but this is for the Simon Hurley ink, and I'm just using a little bit of it around the edges. I'm gonna have to get it just a little bit inkier because I used it earlier to kind of test everything out, and I think I kind of exhausted what was in it. And I think maybe a little bit more. Okay, that's probably about right for that. And then, hi Lisa, how are you? Hi Joan, hi Christy. I'm going to use some of our Remember Me. And this one, let's test out the brush first and see if it's got any ink in it. Oh yeah, it has a little bit in it, so I may not need to re-ink that. And I'm just kind of softening it a little bit more, adding a little bit more texture. Though we've got quite a bit going on right now, I think it's okay. I think we'll just, I kind of like how it's softening it just a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to set that aside. And actually, can I be completely honest with you? I did a test one earlier and I like it better. So I've got two of them here, but I think since this one's dry, I'm going to go ahead and use that one. But you can see just by how much you spray and how much you do, this one's definitely a little bit more distressed looking than this one. This one's more what I had in mind. So I'm going to go ahead and let that one dry. I'll use that one too, just but it's still wet, so I'm just going to use the one that's dry. Same technique, just I went a little heavier on the spray. All right, so now I am going to actually get our sentiment going. Sorry, I keep catching that little cord from my camera and it makes it look like we're having an earthquake. All right, now I just have to see what I did with my, oh, there it is. There it is with my Misty. Okay.
Shannon, check your camera.
Oh, yes. How about if we, what did I do? Oh my goodness. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Thank you, Darren. I'm sure it was a great view of my belly. All right. So I'm going to put this little piece in for our sentiment. And one of my favorite things for sentiments, I love that you don't have to have every single color of, I mean, I like having different colors of embossing powder, but I also like that if I'm trying to match my ink, I can just use my whatever ink, and I'm using Gina K because I like the way it stamps images and sentiments. It's a little crisper. So I'm going to use, this is, what color is this? Lucky Clover. So I'm going to use Lucky Clover to stamp my sentiment. And this is, I told you earlier, but it says you can do amazing things. And I'm going to stamp that twice because I like a nice bold sentiment. Oh, move all those guys. Okay, so looks great, but I do want to add just a little bit of depth to it. So I'm going to emboss that, and I'm just going to use clear embossing powder on the top. So I'm just going to wipe off my stamp. And just use my embossing ink. And I just like to make sure it was nice and juicy and it left enough on it, which I think it did, but I'll just play it safe. And honestly, because it's clear, I don't worry too much about using the anti-static bag on it. If it was going to have color to it, I would worry more about it. But like I said, I'm not too worried about it on this one. Okay, so now I'm using, this is Brutus Monroe's Icicle clear embossing powder. And I'm going to let that kind of sit on there a little bit. You want to let it kind of have a second to get in there, right? And then I'm just going to lightly tap it. And I'm actually cutting mine out, so I'm not too worried about any excess anyway. Okay, we'll get the lid back on that. And now I'm just going to heat that up.
Justine said she loves the sentiment. She used them on some graduation cards.
It's perfect. I know. I love it too. I love that it can be used for so many things. Sometimes, like I said, sometimes you just, people sometimes just need a little encouragement and a little just knowing that somebody believes in them, I think is really important. I think our kids definitely need that. I think anytime you can lift somebody up, it's wonderful. Heck, if you're having a hard time, you could stamp this and put it on your mirror. Use it for a little affirmation. Okay, so I am not going to bore you with fussy cutting this. I already have one cut out so that you don't have to watch me fussy cut, because I know that's probably really exciting. So my mat is cut to 4 by 5 1/4. And then I have another mat. I am one of those people that likes lots of layers. I like to kind of frame things out. I just think it looks nice. So I tend to do that a lot. So I'm using some Barely Art glue, which is my favorite glue. Also, if your paper has a little bit of a curve in it, like mine does, one thing you can do is you can just throw it through your laminator, and it will help straighten it out a little bit. I usually will put mine underneath I'll usually get it all ready to go, and then when it's kind of drying, I'll stick it underneath my MISTI, because my MISTI is flat, nice and flat. But you do what works for you. Yes, Justine. Layers are just the best. Okay, so now we'll add that to our mat. Ooh, that is not centered. Let's see if we can scooch it over a little bit. Well, the glue is still a little bit wet. I will tell you, when this glue dries, you don't want to try to do that. You want to make sure you catch it while it's wet, because it's not going anywhere. All right, so now I just cut a couple of little strips. I haven't measured them, to be honest with you, but they just happened to work. And the way that I did the notch was I just used a square punch, and I'll show you without actually punching it. I just kind of lined it up. If you've got one of these punches that has the little lever, it makes it easier. And I just lined it up and just kind of tried to make sure that that top point is at least close to the center. And then I just punched it out. And I'm going to glue that together. And again, it's maybe not going to be exactly perfect, but I think that works just fine. I'm okay with that. Okay. And now what I want to do, I do want to move it over a little bit on the bottom. It's sticking. No, I want to move it over. Okay. Bear with me for a second, guys. We'll just put it down a little bit. And then you can kind of just see, if you want to trim it up, you can trim it. Just depends on how fussy you are. I don't think I'm that fussy. I think I'm good with it how it is. So now I'm just going to glue that down on my card. I'm going to do it right down the middle. And then we've got our cute sentiment that I'm going to put some foam behind because we want to pop that out a little bit. And I had a couple little stars in my stash. If you've got a star die set or punches that you want to use, this would be a great place to use them. You could also use the dies that are part of the set. The only reason why I didn't is because they're kind of rounded on the edges and I wanted them to be more pointy, but I don't think it matters that much. If you wanted to use them, you could. So let me go ahead and put this on our card. Okay. I think I want it about right there. And then we'll go ahead and peel this off. Oops. All right. And then I'm just going to add my favorite signature thing that I do on so many cards because I just love them so much. I think I'll use some of these little enamel dots. I think we'll do, let's do the smaller ones. Do a couple up there, maybe one down here. And I think we just will put this on our card base and we will have our card all ready to go. And yes, this could be a graduation card just fine, but it doesn't have to just be a graduation card. You could use this, like I said, for anyone that might need a little encouragement. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we will, or should I say perfectly imperfect? Oh, thanks, Kelly. Okay. All right. So you can do amazing things. Ready to go. All right. Thank you so much. Okay, well, I hope that you maybe got some ideas. Maybe you were inspired to do something new in your craft space, or even just something that you've done before, but just exercise your creativity. Thank you so much, and I'll be back on Monday next week with something else. Have a good week. Bye.